We recognize we're in a really important moment right now with AI, and that we can't just kind of slowly adopt AI. We need to kind of test the frontiers of what's possible.
Welcome to Evergreen Elevate. I'm Sharon Florentine with the Global Technology Industry Association, and we are here in Chicago with GTIA on location talking to some of the channel's most influential leaders about how they're growing their business and staying ahead of the competition. And I'm thrilled today to be joined by founder and CEO of Evergreen, Jeff Totten. Welcome, Jeff. Thanks for joining me at GTIA on location. Great to have you.
Great to be here with you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome. So what do you want people to take away from today at Elevate?
Well, Elevate's really a unique event. And really, at the end of the day, we want people to bring something back to their business that will tangibly impact their customers, their employees, their business positively. And really, our focus is on value creation. And that means, how do we expand the value proposition of managed IT service providers? How do we better serve customers? How do we adopt new technology offerings? And ultimately, how do we grow revenue and the margins of these businesses? And so if everyone walked out of the meeting today and has something, it could be very small, very narrow, but they bring it back and they effectuate it in their business, then today will be a success.
Excellent. Sounds pretty achievable. So you sit mainly on the investing side. What makes a good investment in an MSP?
Yeah, so Evergreen, we're an acquirer of MSPs, and at the end of the day, we're really focused on being the best home for these businesses. And what that means is, if you're a business owner and you're looking for a home for your business, you're looking to sell your business, you would choose us over the competition at the end of the day. So that's our mission. And really, when we're looking for an acquisition, we want a business that has a high degree of predictability in terms of their revenue. So that means they have a lot of recurring revenue. That means they're retaining their customers at a very high rate. And we want to find a business that's growing organically. They're adding new customers, they're growing with their existing customers, and is profitable in how they're growing the business. At the end of the day, one of the most common threads, what makes you successful at all those things, is serving customers very well. So we find that generally, when a company has happy customers, it's going to have all the things that we're looking for in terms of revenue growth and predictability.
So how is the MSP model changing then? Where do you want it to go?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fascinating time, right, with AI.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of focus for us right now is on how do we adapt these businesses for AI, and that really has two elements to it. First, you have to think internally, how do you manage an MSP? And that's really evolving right now. So there's a lot of opportunity for automation, particularly of low-level tasks that honestly the MSPs don't enjoy doing, the employees don't enjoy doing. And so we can deliver a better employee experience and a better customer experience by automating a lot of these kind of low-level tasks. So we actually have three really big investments that we're making at our operating companies, where we've turned them into AI labs. And they're really trying to drive the frontier of automation within an MSP. And I think you have to have that focus. You have to give the company permission to really rebuild the entire business model around being AI first in order to effectuate really significant change. Otherwise, it's hard to do it when it's just one of many projects that the company is working on, and they have their day job of serving customers well. So that's internally at MSPs. And then we have to think about, with every technology evolution, how are we serving our customers and helping them adopt these new technologies? So there, what we're really focused on is, how do we help small businesses adopt AI in their company? And we're actually going into companies, our customers. We're deploying engineers who actually are very versed in AI, and they're also versed in processes for businesses.
Okay.
And we're helping our customers automate processes in their businesses. So this is really further than the MSP has ever reached into its customer base.
Yeah.
But it's a really compelling value proposition when you think about, if a customer has a very manual process they're doing internally, if we can automate it for them, we might save them more than they actually spend in their entirety on IT.
Right.
So it's increasing the managed services value proposition. And also, it changes the perception of the MSP to the customer. The customer starts thinking, hey, if I have a question about AI, if I'm curious if AI can solve a business process for me, I'm going to go to my MSP. So we're hyper-focused on AI right now, and most importantly, how do we better serve our customers leveraging AI?
Right. And I understand that you, as you mentioned previously, you've purchased an MSP, you kind of broke it down and you're rebuilding it as an AI first business. Is that correct?
That's specific to our 3 AI labs. So when you think about Evergreen, the first thing you think about is generally continuity in the businesses that we acquire, because we're highly decentralized in how we operate. That means that when we buy a business, we let it continue to operate independently. But we recognize we're in a really important moment right now with AI, and that we can't just kind of slowly adopt AI. We need to kind of test the frontiers of what's possible. And so we actually went out to our companies and said, do any of our existing companies want to reinvent themselves with AI? And we actually received proposals from several companies. We picked the 3 best proposals, and we then supported their initiative to want to rebuild their business leveraging AI. And now we're helping them resource it. We're giving them budget to go really invest in transforming their company. And they're in the process of completely reinventing their business to be AI first.
I see. Interesting. Oh, that'll be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, we're excited. You'll have to ask us in a year how it's going, but we're seeing really exciting early results. So.
Excellent. So we're here at Evergreen Elevate with a community. And how important is that concept of community and, to be part of that collective, making everyone better? Talk about that in relation to this event and the future of Evergreen.
Right. Well, some of my favorite parts about the MSP industry is that it is very community driven. There's so many events. There's so much desire to kind of get together and compare notes on how folks are operating the business. Yeah. And part of that relates to the fact it's just such a large market, and it's pretty rare that when you go to these peer events, often you're learning a lot, you're sharing a lot, and it's pretty rare that actually hurts your business in any way. Usually, the people that are sharing the most are actually getting the most back in terms of how they're building their business. So we love that about this industry, and we want to be contributing to that. That's why we're hosting our own event. That's why our event's completely focused on value creation, and we're not having it be kind of a sponsor-driven event. We're having it be a content-driven event and trying to provide value to this community. But we love this community. We're highly committed to the community, and we hope this continues where MSPs, the more they share, the more they get out of it, the more they can bring back to their business, and then the more they can grow their company.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you again, Jeff, for being on GTIA On Location. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Enjoyed the conversation.
And thank you for watching GTIA On Location. You can check out all our other videos on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We will be back with more interviews soon. See you next time.